Hello, everyone. This is Sincere of Teacher Sincere's channel, and welcome. So, I want to talk about a short story writer who recently passed away that I like and who was a Nobel Prize winner. Her name was Alice Munro. She actually died earlier this month on the 13th. And I just learned about it yesterday. And I thought today about between lessons with my students that I would do a little video about her, maybe a little tribute to her. Um, I first heard about Alice Munro several years ago. I think it was following when she got the Nobel Prize. And this is her Nobel Prize in literature. She got it back, her page on the Nobel website. And she got her prize back in 2013. So I apparently heard about her a little bit later, a few years later. And I decided to read a collection of her short stories. I read one of the collections of short stories. I can't remember which one at the time, and I'm sorry. I meant to write it down. I have to go back and check it on my Goodreads.com list. And I will put it probably in the description if I don't forget. But Alice Munro was born in 1931 in Wingham, Ontario, Canada. And she also died in Canada back on the 13th. She is I think she's a very good short story writer. Okay. She wrote just short stories. She started writing when she was a teenager, and she started getting her writings out to the public and published uh, as a housewife. If you look on her Wikipedia page, you will see a copy, a print of a newspaper article about a housewife writing short stories. She was a master at writing short stories. Okay, I would say she is one of my favorites. I haven't read tons of short story writers, but I would say she was at the top. Okay, the short story writers that I have enjoyed previous to reading her works were James Baldwin. Now, James Baldwin, African American writer James Baldwin, was not a short story writer, but he did write short stories, and I particularly like his collection called "Going to Meet the Man." Um, Also, Kate Chopin. I love Kate Chopin. Also, another American writer, 19th century writer, classic. I also loved her short stories as well. She dealt with race, the issue of race, even though she was a white woman, and she did it very bravely. James Baldwin was African American. So these are the two I would say are my absolute favorites. Now, Alice Munro is considered sort of like a postmodern or modern day Anton Chekhov. Anton Chekhov was a great Russian short story writer, and she's sort of considered like the Anton Chekhov of her time. And reading her stories, her short stories, I have been planning to read more collections of her short stories, and I haven't gotten to it yet. My local library actually has copies of the short stories, but I still haven't. She's sort of gotten overlooked. She's gotten sort of lost in the shuffle of all the other stuff I'm trying to read. But I really want to go back and read more of her short stories. I read them a few years ago. They were interesting, realistic realism. Just very, they were interesting. They were enjoyable short stories. They had a lot of realism. They dealt with a lot of like the human condition. Just sort of straightforward stories with these interesting twists and turns. I really liked her a lot. Her writing a lot. But like I said, I don't read short story writers a lot. Now, last year I did read a short story writer. He's like a famous short story writer in Turkey, Said Faik Abusayanik. I read short stories by him. Some of the stories I really, really liked, and the other ones were sort of so-so. But everything that I read of Alice Munro's in the collection that I read, I really enjoyed a whole lot. And she died earlier this month at the age of 92. So she had a long life. And yeah, she basically, just started writing as a teenager and kept it up. One good thing about it, her husband was very supportive of her work, of her writing. And so, but yeah, they're just enjoyable. Now, they may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I do recommend that you check out her short stories. And what I'm going to do in the description section, I found a link to some of her short stories on Open Culture website, openculture.com. I think that's what it is, .com, but I'll put the link. Open Culture also is a very good website. They have books that you can read online. They have textbooks. They have all kinds of educational materials, really neat, fun stuff. So it's sort of a website that I forget about a lot, but it's a really good website as well. I'm so much on Internet Archive that I forget about Open Culture. Of course, Open Culture is not an online library like Internet Archive, but it is an important website. And I will put the links to the article about her on there, and they have links to some of her stories that can be found online. So, yeah, so this is just a brief story, not brief story, but just a brief video I want to do about Alice Munro because I really liked her writing. I really enjoyed it, and I just happened to see on Facebook yesterday. I follow a lot of art and literature websites. I get news on Facebook, so I don't really use Facebook to put like my personal pictures. There are some, but I use it and I don't really use it to look at what other people. I don't focus a whole lot on what other people are doing, their personal life, but I use Facebook to get information. You can use it for information, and they have I follow different groups on there that deal with art and literature and stuff like that. Book lovers, so the kind of stuff that I'm into, I use Facebook for that. Okay. So, but I'm going to end here. This is just a very short video, and I love it when I can get them in short because I know that a lot of times attention spans are not that um, big these nowadays. So I like to do something short from time to time because I don't think I sometimes wonder I did this 20-minute video and are they looking at it from start to finish? I don't think so. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I really did want to share this with you about Alice Munro. Check out her works. I really encourage you to do so. And yeah, she's a Nobel Prize winner. I've been thinking off and on for the last couple of years that maybe I ought to take a year and try to read just Nobel Prize winners. Okay, different authors that are Nobel Prize winners. I do have one sort of in my sights. I think he won the Nobel Prize, Mario Vargas Llosa. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, but I'm going to end here. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. So this is Sincere. Until next time.